broadcast for Thursday, June 13th, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, PM says doctors out of fear took long to report hospital incident. Belize cannot afford air support to fight wildfires, says PM. And BPM says move is afoot for the nation of redistricting court action. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Your personal online banking experience is about to get even better. Introducing the new Personal Atlantic Online, reimagined and redesigned. But that's not all. Something great is coming your way. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Brothers Abet is celebrating Super Handy Dads for the entire month of June with super handy deals that just can't be beaten. Give that super handy dad the perfect gift from our super selection, like 15% off all power tools and hand tools store-wide, 15% off track car batteries, 20% off Eureka Vats, 20% off Decon Matte Emulsion, and 25% off Valspar and Dutch Boy paints. Plus, for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win $500 worth of tools for 3 super special dads. So give dad his best Father's Day gift yet from Brothers Abet. Come in or reach out to us today. Brother Sabet wishes all super handy dads a super happy Father's Day.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Belizeans all around the planet Earth, this is a roll call for all Belizeans living abroad. In a world that is becoming more uncertain and unstable, children and descendants of the Belizean soil must find common ground and align. Mark the date and make your plans. June 19th to June 22nd, 2024 at the Marriott Airport Hotel, Los Angeles, California. It's the historic first ever Belize Diaspora Summit. This summit will feature panel discussions featuring leading diaspora leaders and achievers. The Belize American Chamber of Commerce will host its annual business forum. There is a special delegation from the Ministry of Natural Resources to facilitate land queries for those in the diaspora, and a grand gala event to cap the Belize Diaspora Summit 2024. For registration and for more details, email info@BelizeDiasporaSummit.com or BIF 2024 California.eventbrite.com.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back with your news. I am MarKeisha Young. Speaking about the terror that doctors and patients at the San Ignacio Community Hospital experienced on June 1st at the hands of the alleged street figures, Prime Minister John Briceño responded to the accusation that there was a delay in authorities finding out about what transpired. Briceño stated that the doctors had been afraid to report the incident and finally, that is, decided to do so. Although we note that one doctor has indicated that the issue was immediately reported to higher ups and no one had responded by the end of their shift. The PM was asked whether it was a failure of the Minister of Home Affairs.
No, it's not a failure. How can you act if you don't know? If your victim misbehaves and nobody tell you, is it a failure of you?
Something is broken in the Ministry of Health then.
But the problem is that these doctors were terrorized by these people and were afraid to speak out. And they finally did. So by the time you got your video, we were already acting, we were already hunting down these 2 individuals. And also now we're going after all of those that were outside in the compound in a threatening manner. We have been acting, and I don't see how you could hold the minister in charge of the police responsible for something like this.
You all shouldn't have to find out about these things on the beef. The commissioner said he found out about it on the beef.
But we did not find it out on the beef.
Well,
we found it out from within the Ministry of Health when they finally told the Ministry of Health, and as soon as they told us, we found out, we acted on it, and I called the commissioner and said, listen, we need to work on this immediately. We can't let these people believe that they could get away with this.
So you do
Thank you, sir.
So you do admit that indicates that there needs to be a more heavy-handed approach when it comes to dealing with gang violence.
I'm not admitting to anything. I am just saying that we are doing everything possible to work with everybody. The economy is working, is growing. People could get jobs. And if you have people that do not want to work and want to terrorize our citizens, then we have to deal with them accordingly.
Speaking generally about crime, the Prime Minister said we need to get tougher on gangs.
Well, we have always been very concerned about crime, and in my meeting with President Bukele, there's one thing that stood out when he said to me, he says, "Sin paz no hay desarrollo." Without peace, we can have development. We can have the most thriving economy going, but if we can't control crime in this country, they're going to leave. Nobody's going to come to Belize. Tourists will not come, investments will not come. People in Belize are going to shut down their investments. I say that not that we're not there, nowhere close to that, but to make the point that we're taking it very serious. Yesterday we have decided that we're going to go after these gangs, and the law is very clear that if you're a gang member, you can get 10 years imprisonment, and if you're a head of a gang member, you can get as much as 20 years. Unfortunately, for one reason or the other, and I have to be very careful how I say this, for whatever reason, the police department took 2 gang members to court in San Pedro. They admitted, or they have accepted that they're guilty, okay. And they were just given a $1,500 fine. And I believe that we can't. That's a slap in the people of San Pedro, because these gangs have been terrorizing the people in San Pedro. So we have said that we are going to go after them. We cannot allow a small group of people to terrorize this country, and we're even talking about maybe even amending the law to ensure that once you're a gang member and you're found guilty, that you are going to go to jail.
The PM also rejected the accusation that the hospital incident shows a failure of Plan Belize regarding crime.
That would happen in any place. It happens in the United States. Just yesterday in the United States, they hijacked a bus, a public transport bus. So for you to be able to say, oh, it's a failure because something like that happens in every society. Now the failure will be if that we refuse to act. If you look at what we've been doing over the years, we've been strengthening the police department. We've been giving them more equipment. We've been getting more police. We just agreed now to give them another amount of so we just approved another some more monies for them to be able to continue to monitor the northern borders to ensure that the Kaborga gang or cartel cannot come into Belize. So we are doing, as something come up, we are acting on it. But what's the most telling thing about the success of Plan Belize is that unemployment is at below 4%. People, those that want to work, are working. There are jobs for people. You could ask any business person, all of them will tell you we need more workers in this country. But there are certain people that just don't want to work and want to create havoc in the society. And we cannot allow them to go after the law-abiding citizens of this country.
The effects from wildfires have been getting worse in recent years, and the devastation this dry season has been described as unprecedented. With climate change intensifying, it's only expected that things will continue worsening. Asked about increasing Belize's capacity to fight wildfires for next year, Prime Minister John Briceño said we need to get rid of the notion that Belize can afford its own air support.
We are working on that, and he is working on a new budget And despite everything, I mean, we can't let the best be the enemy of the good. And in this sense, this issue about air support, guys, we don't even own a helicopter. And to us to be able to say we're going to own a helicopter to be able to, let's be real, let's be realistic. What we're looking is how we can reorganize this whole firefighting, forest fires, how we're going to fight them. And it has been from top to bottom. And one of the ideas that I always forget this young man's name, highly qualified young man that was studied in the United States about firefighting. He's in an NGO. I think he's the deputy chairman of APAMO. And what you're saying, we need to start from the community level, to give them some sort of training and a little bit some equipment so that in most instances we can contain it. We also have to start to look at controlled burning, something that has not been done, that you burn your underbush or your forest, not when it is the hottest, but when it is still damp a little bit, so you could get rid of some of the debris, so that if there's a fire, it's not going to be is not going to be huge and as destructive as what it was. We have to forget about looking at the movies and all kind of helicopters and having 1,000 people or we have to work with what we have. And I must thank publicly the BDF who they were out there for many days helping us to fight these fires. Now we need to look at the rebuilding process, and the Minister of Agriculture yesterday in Cabinet has already said they're already reaching out to be able to provide seeds for farmers so that they can replant and get themselves back on their feet. We are working on a budget, and once we have the budget, obviously we'll have to present a supplementary budget to be able to do this.
In a press release this week, the Belize Peace Movement shared the concern that they feel the Brisenia administration and the Elections and Boundaries Commission intend to eliminate their court action regarding redistricting. They note that if the government is successful in doing so, it would allow for the next general election to be held without undertaking the redistricting exercise in contravention of the Constitution. One outcome, they say, is that the House of Representatives may indefinitely defer the Representation of the People Amendment Bill 2024. In their release, the BPM cites a second affidavit that the chairman of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, Senior Counsel Oscar Sabido, submitted in response to their application for the enforcement of the consent order in the redistricting case. Sabido stated in the document dated June 7th that in an interview, the attorney for the BPM has accepted that the presentation of the redistricting recommendations as a bill in the House of Representatives on May 30th for its consideration amounts to compliance with the consent order, which the BPM completely rejects. Sabido wrote, open quote, "I am advised by the Solicitor General, and I verily believe that the application is therefore now moot and a determination will serve no useful purpose," end quote. The BPM once again addressed the Prime Minister, Honorable John Brisenio's recent remarks, suggesting that there is not enough time to conduct a redistricting exercise before the next general elections. This, they say, only casts doubt in the minds of voters. They call on Belizeans to press for the redistricting exercise to be done and to ensure that the next general elections is constitutional. Since the murder of 28-year-old land agent Ricardo Borja in August of last year, there has been another worrying development, as another recent murder is now also being associated with the land fraud that Borja detailed in supposed testimony he gave to police just prior to his death. 43-year-old Darren Delacoin Taylor was killed this year, April, in Dangriga. In the recording of Borja's exchange with police, he named Taylor as someone who was instrumental in the scheme. At the time of his death, the police said Taylor was killed presumably over a business deal linked to land. On Wednesday, Minister of Natural Resources Cordell Hyde described the situation as scary and shared an update on discoveries they have made from looking into the indirection, that is, of Borja's firm, JC Consulting, with the Lands Department.
scary when you consider that persons have died and quite possibly linked to these things. You're dealing with a different level of opportunism and different level of criminality and a different level of wickedness altogether. And I don't know that you necessarily can liquidate that, can destroy that in the shortest possible time. I think it's about us trying to get our structures in place where we get it right, about trying to have some regulation that will regulate these real estate cats, because the truth of the matter is they've been having a free run at it for the longest time, and these guys are so-called land agents, and they also pretend to be attorneys and financial experts and all kinds of stuff. And they're very clever, very smooth, very savvy, because they are able to convince very wealthy people to get off their money. You know, I can tell you that in these cases we've had to collaborate, cooperate with the police, try to assist as best we can in these investigations. We've done our whole internal examination of lots of these accounts. In the case of the Berha case, we've reviewed over 300 transaction instruments that Berha and his consulting company, I think it's JC Consulting or something, that they actually presented to the Lands Department. 80%, damn near 80% of those were incomplete. They triggered some interaction, got an instrument number, but they never followed through. Then, because they came, they triggered an interaction with the Lands Registry, and through that process they are able to get, well, what would be the relevant fees, relevant duties that have to be paid, but they don't come back.
Hyde noted that both the victims and the state lose out big with these land scams, as the belief is that while money for the payment of stamp duty would have been collected, it never made it to the Lands Department. The minister says people have come forward making these claims.
Fraud against those persons is a fraud against the state, because they purport to be collecting this money to go to pay the Lands Department so that you can complete the private land transfer. They don't pay. Lots of these people are out of money by hundreds of thousands of dollars, can't get their property. They show up at the Lands Department believing that they've paid all the relevant fees, and come for the land people only to find out that, you know what, you have to start this process all over again. And all that money that you forked out never reached the Lands Department. So we can't complete that transaction, we can't complete that land transfer without having collected what the people of Belize have to collect, which is stamp duty. From our examiners, there are receipts out there that they purportedly present to these private landowners or these persons who are buying these lands, pretending as if though they've paid the government of Belize, and it's the government of Belize who has been delinquent in making sure that they get their titles. So then these persons come to the Lands Department fully expecting that they'll get their title to their nice, swanky property. Because you're talking about properties in Placentia, in some of the finest places in all this country. And then they come to the Lands Department and they out of pocket their retirement money, everything they've had. And they can't pay the stamp duty, so they can't get that land transferred in their name, because we can't act on stories.
So how does the government stop this? Hyde says regulations and structures are needed.
I don't know the status of these investigations. Oftentimes the police interact with my department almost every week in terms of trying to find out information, trying to look at files, trying to get to the bottom of things. I think that we may have to consider getting some sort of special prosecutor or some sort of special investigator, because I think that some of these things they're not the run-of-the-mill kind of activities. It's not, you break into somebody's house or you jack somebody, or it's a level of chicanery, a level of wickedness that I don't know that we've seen in this country. Like, we're just a peaceful, fun-loving, harmonious community, and these guys are operating at a level that, you had a gentleman who was trying to pull a fast on the government of Belize for 2,000 acres of land. And we were able to get to the bottom of it and figure out that, you know what, you don't have to claim to this land. This land is still national land. This land is for the people of Belize. And so we were able to take that back and subdivide that, and now we are in the process of giving hundreds of Belizeans their residential plots, and giving hundreds of Belizeans farm plots out of those 2,000 acres. But then you wonder how they are able to pull such a fast one on a lot of unsuspecting people. And I think that it's just a cautionary tale for everyone out here that you really have to guard your money jealously, like you have to treat your money like you treat your wife or you treat your husband, like you can't afford to get that out of your eyesight so easily. Like you cannot be, you have to be careful, be aware of agents and fake agents. You cannot be engaging and giving your money to people who are so-called public officers or people pretending to be public officers for lands all over the country. Listen, don't try to bribe anybody and don't let anybody bribe you. Like you've already paid for this service. Every time we pay taxes, every time we go to the store, every time we go to the gas station, we pay taxes, and those taxes pay our salaries. And so it is our job as public officers to provide that service to the public. Yes, the process takes a little long. Yes, the process is frustrating many times, but try to work the process. And try to stay honest in the process, because when you get out of that, then a whole lot of things can go wrong, and you may end up paying a ton load of money and never getting that property that you think you had.
The minister further explained that the Santa Cruz land was obtained by a real estate agent in the south under the former UDP administration. However, it turns out that though he had a lease for the land, he never paid the purchase price, which made it easy for the government to get it back. After the break, Commission of Inquiry Chairman speaks on scope of work. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Design Depot is celebrating its Design Depot, all in one place.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Belize City, the largest city in the country. Our urban haven is home to over 60,000 residents, the financial and commercial hub of Belize. While managing this dynamic city is no easy task, every day the hard-working men and women of the Belize City Council show up and show out to ensure the wheels of our city keep on moving.
Our council has a workforce of over 400 passionate and dedicated workers. We pride ourselves on being people-centric driven while enhancing our internal capacity and capabilities to meet the needs of a bustling city. We recognize that the most important resource we have at the council is our staff. These are the men and women who keep our great city alive.
When thinking of the council, the first thing that comes to mind is street rehabilitation and sanitation.
But we're so much more.
From managing the flow of traffic
to inspecting building safety
and creating resilient public spaces.
People have made their careers here and have been here for over 30 years.
And it's been an amazing journey.
For me, it's about social programs and developing a child-friendly municipality.
Seeing someone's dream become a reality just does something to the soul. That's why initiatives like our accelerator program are so important.
They say when you find something you love, you never work a day in your life.
At BCC, we're not just co-workers, we're a family.
One thing that I hold dear to my heart is that our management team consists of young, driven people, like Mr. Alvarez, who worked up the ranks to become the manager of the largest department in the City Council, the sanitation department.
With great performance, there are plenty of opportunities for growth at the council.
Our team works tirelessly to create memorable and innovative initiatives for our city's residents.
And I am thankful to be a part of that innovation.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be more and do more for my city.
It's not just about keeping the city clean.
It's about being able to touch the hearts of our residents
and the amazing people we've been able to meet throughout the years.
That makes it worth it.
Belize City Council, a great place to work. Join us in building a better city for today and tomorrow. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Where are your prescription? What are the best place to go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When the drugstore then close up the night and pan Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City. When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City.
We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Belizeans all around planet Earth, this is a roll call. A roll call for all Belizeans living abroad. In a world that is becoming more uncertain and unstable, children and descendants of the Belizean soil must find common ground and align. Mark the date and make your plans. June 19th to June 22nd, 2024 at the Marriott Airport Hotel, Los Angeles, California. It's the historic first ever Belize Diaspora Summit. This summit will feature panel discussions featuring leading diaspora leaders and achievers. The Belize American Chamber of Commerce will host its annual business forum. There is a special delegation from the Ministry of Natural Resources to facilitate land queries for those in the diaspora, and a grand gala event to cap the Belize Diaspora Summit 2024. For registration and for more details, email info@BelizeDiasporaSummit.com or BIF 2024 California.eventbrite.com.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
The chairman of the Commission of Inquiry into the Sugarcane Industry, Wayne Piper, today explained to the media that the commission has been tasked to study the efficiency of the entire sugarcane industry. He said that they are looking at the industry as one of sugarcane and not simply sugar, as they are reviewing how to capitalize on the potential of the entire industry and not just sugar.
The Commission has been given a very wide remit to look at the sugar industry on a whole. But we start with trying to benchmark the efficiencies of the 2 major mills, being BSI mills here in Tower Hill and also Santander's mill. And we're benchmarking them not against only each other for efficiency, but also in terms of looking at other mills regionally. And we've also started looking at some internationally, wider than just in our region, that we can compare the efficiencies, not just what at our level we'd expect to see, not just in our region, but have an idea as to how sugar mills are operating globally. I think the reason for this is to see where we can improve our efficiencies locally. When we look at so many different options, and even locally, we've seen that the 2 mills operate almost completely differently. And so we have to find a way to balance these differences, but also find the inefficiencies and how there can be improvement. We've been also tasked to look at the efficiencies across the entire value chain of sugarcane. We're looking from farming, from planting seeds, all the way up to the marketing of the final product. So we are looking at the farming, the harvesting practices, the varieties that are being used in farming. We are also looking at the transportation to the mill, the efficiencies of the mill, as I've said, the uses of the product, because it's not just sugar that we're looking to get out. How can we use the molasses? Can we look at other products that we can use, such as ethanol?
Piper also explained that the Commission is looking at how small farmers can better benefit.
We've also been tasked to look at how we can improve the value to small farmers. We know we have 2 big industry players in terms of the mills, but especially in the north, a lot of the sugar is grown and harvested by small farmers. And they often get forgotten as development goes. And I think we've been tasked to really look at how we can see the practices that can benefit small farmers. If it's worked elsewhere, how it can be applied in the Belizean situation as well.
2 members of the Sugarcane Industries Commission of Inquiry are from Maturas, that is Mauritius. Piper explained that Mauritius's sugarcane industry went through something similar some decades ago and explained how Belize can benefit from Mauritius's case.
In terms of our commissioners, we have 2 from Mauritius, and Mauritius faced some of the problems that Belize is facing now. Many years ago, I think in the 1930s, they had the sort of conflict we have between farmers and mills, and they have developed their industry over the years to reach a piece of legislation that works, or that seems to work. But one thing they always say, there's always conflict between the farmers and the mills, but what we have to work on is finding a way that it's an open industry for everyone, that it can work together and everyone can benefit.
From before the Commission of Inquiry began its assessment of the sugarcane industry in Belize, BSI-ASR had been vocal against being forced to reveal confidential corporate information. Today, Piper addressed those concerns.
I I would say the Commission can make requests for documents that are within their terms of reference but do not infringe on the private and common confidential data of a stakeholder. And this doesn't go just for BSI, it goes for all stakeholders.
Minister of Natural Resources, Honorable Cordell Hyde, was asked yesterday about a support that a suspension of dredging operations from early February this year at the Will-Buyer flats for the Angelfish Key project has now been lifted. As you may recall, when fly fish tour guides learned of the project because dredging was starting in the area, they created an uproar saying their livelihoods would be affected. The minister on Wednesday said that the government must do the right thing in this case and affirmed that the area must remain untouched.
It's most regrettable that NIAC never got an opportunity to get input and get the clear and passionate views that he worked on the other fly fishers. I believe if NIAC had gotten that, had gotten to see and hear this testimony from these fly fishers, then we wouldn't be in this situation.
But these things aren't usually coincidences. When people aren't heard from, when vested stakeholders aren't heard from, it's part of a deliberate strategy to exclude adverse opinions.
Oftentimes. But in this particular case, the persons from New York are saying that, listen, we had multiple consultations in Hopkins. They didn't have it in Placentia. As I understand it, they had it in Hopkins, and that village is apparently the closest point to the flats. But I think they had multiple, but the relevant fly fishers never knew of it and found out of it after the fact. And so now government has to make a determination going forward. Government is going to do the right thing. Let me just say that. Government is going to do the right thing.
However, that may involve compensating Angelfish LLC.
That is a challenge. That is often the challenge for a government. You have to weigh these things, the economic benefits against the environmental impact and the environmental benefits against the
social.
We have to weigh these things, but ultimately, based on everything we've heard, like, you can't touch those, you can't touch that area. But government has to make the right decision on this, because that has to stay in the hands of Belizeans for as long as we can possibly keep it.
On Wednesday, we reported on information that a fake land clinic was held in northern Belize with people dressed in land department uniforms, computers, and the like to defraud people of their money. The matter is under investigation, but reports are that it was orchestrated as part of the schemes perpetrated by Doris Grant, who now stands accused of obtaining property by deception. The allegation is that Grant is well connected at the Ministry of Natural Resources to have been able to perpetrate her schemes. Minister Cordell Hyde on Wednesday said he does not personally know Doris Grant.
I don't know Doris Grant, I don't know Doris Grant personally. I've only heard about her, like it's a very popular name. But
according to Chester Williams, who don't know Doris Grant?
Yeah, I know. One person I don't know. I don't know Doris Grant. I've heard that name so many times, but I don't know her. Interestingly enough, I met her mother recently because I know
beside the Prime Minister.
Because I know the mother. I know the mother, so I was excited to see her recently. I didn't even know it was her mother. It was after she left I was told that's the response. I said, okay, I didn't know that. So that's really, really nice lady, really classy lady. But I don't know Doris Grant personally. And no, I didn't get $1 out of $5 million because I don't know her.
The last figure we had from the National Emergency Management Organization on damages from the wildfires in the south was around $8 million. That included losses incurred by farmers who lost their farms and stored crops, and a few villagers who also lost their homes. Spokesperson for the TAA and MLA, Christina Cook, spoke about how affected villagers are being assisted.
Clearly, you've seen the devastation. A lot of our communities have been impacted. We are in the process of completing our assessment of that damage. Our focus is on relief and recovery, ensuring that for the next 3 to 4 months, those who have lost their corn and their milpas will have food, traditional food that other communities will provide through the aid as we are organizing to provide that relief and recovery.
The association is funding this
The association is leading this recovery and relief effort. And we're going to fundamentally, our first priority is to provide food security within the next 3 to 4 months until we can have another crop of corn.
After the break, body of elderly man found in Rowan Creek, Kyle. Stay tuned.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
When you get your prescription, what are the best place to go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When the drugstore then close up the night and on Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City.
We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get store-wide discounts on selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Char-Broil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, Benny's. Benny's, Benny's.
Your personal online banking experience is about to get even better. Introducing the new Personal Atlantic Online, reimagined and redesigned. But that's not all. Something great is coming your way. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Upcoming
upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribe areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
The body of a man was discovered around 6 a.m. today inside the cemetery in Roaring Creek, Kyle. The man has since been identified as 67-year-old Benito Cal. According to reports, Cal was found with severe head injuries and with a cement block nearby, which investigators believe was the weapon used to fatally injure Cal. Police are investigating. The president of the Police Carnival Association, Patrick Thompson, today confirmed that the proposed new route of the carnival would place the road march along the Caribbean Sea and entirely on the north side of Belize City. The new route has the road march taking off along Marine Parade Boulevard with its junction with South Park Street along Memorial Park and wind its way onto Newtown Barracks and emerging onto Princess Margaret Drive, where it will accumulate with one lap around the Marion Jones Sporting Complex field. Thompson also revealed that the judging point will be at the Digi Park. He assured the public that they are communicating, that is, with the Belize Police Department, who have assured the association that there will be ample security provided along the route. Thompson also shared that there will be extra police presence around the judging point, considering the bars and clubs located along the route. This year's Carnival Road March is set for September 7th. The daughter of Albert Vaughn, Belize City Administrator, 25-year-old Teach Vaughn, pleaded guilty to manslaughter by negligence for the accidental shooting of 30-year-old Charles Canton back in May of 2023. Vaughn mistakenly fired Canton's own 9mm pistol while she was in a parked car with him and another person. Through her attorney, Leroy Banner, Vaughn expressed to the court her remorse for the incident and explained her unfamiliarity with firearms and took full responsibility for the incident. The judge fined Vaughn $15,000, of which $5,000 was to go to Canton's common-law wife by 4:30 p.m. today, and the other $10,000 must be paid by the end of September 2024. She is also bound over to keep the peace for 2 years, or in default, she would be sentenced to 12 months in prison. And the Belize Fisheries Department responded to the report of a manatee calf in distress in the Belize River as the calf appeared not to be able to dive. A team from the department and the Clearwater Marine Aquarium Research Institute responded to the call for help. The young calf, now named Kevin, was rescued and transported to Orange Walk. While in the north, the team collaborated with Wild Tracks, who then transported Kevin to the rehabilitation center. A medical assessment showed that Kevin was emaciated, sunburned, and sustained propeller cut wounds to his tail. Kevin is considered to be in a delicate condition, but is receiving treatment and care at Wild Tracks. The department expressed its gratitude to both CMARI and Wild Tracks, as well as their own fisheries team. The fisheries team, who responded to the report recently, attended a training at Wild Tracks for manatee response rescue and rehabilitation. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am MarKeisha Young. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.
Thank you.